With RockRevolt magazine. I'm here with Maddox of Messer. How you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, not a problem, not a problem. Guys, look like you're gearing up to get ready to go hit the road, man, doing some pretty big tour dates.
Yeah, we're excited to be going out on the Unstoppable Scream tour with Red and Lacey Sturm and Righteous Vendetta. We're going to be hitting some really cool venues. Some places we have been, some we haven't, so super stoked.
Right on, right on. Now, like you said, some places you've been, some places you haven't. Is there anything when you've looked over these list of dates, is there anywhere you're happy you're going back to, or some places you're pretty excited you're going to get to finally play in for the first time?
I'm super excited for the Flint, Michigan show at the Machine Shop. We have some friends out that way. We've never played there, and I want that photo backstage. I need that in my bucket list items. And then the other stop is the Fillmore in San Francisco. So that's another, cool little check that one off too. So, but then we're excited to get back to Canton Hall in Dallas, which is a great venue that we love. And there's I think one in LA at the Regent that we played there once before, I believe. So we're excited.
Yeah, no, I saw that Machine Shop stop, and I definitely knew that was one of them if you hadn't been there, because like you said, that's one of those iconic places you have to go and you have to get that photo.
It's like the new, CBGB's almost, except not in LA. So
right, yeah,
I'm really excited about it, and that show we just found out is sold out already too. So which we expect all these shows to sell out on this tour. Red, they do an amazing job,
right?
And so we just found out that one actually is sold out already. So
oh yeah, and
sorry about your luck.
And of course, Lacey Sturm's always been great with Flyleaf and everything. And I've seen Righteous Vendetta several times, and they do a pretty good job themselves. So
yeah, Lacey, her solo project stuff is amazing. I've had a couple opportunities to see her perform live, and she always does a great job as well.
Right on. We actually just the venue that's Lacey's going to be at here in Kansas City just announced April 9th, and I'm looking at these dates, and it looks like you might be skipping that one.
Yeah, there might be a couple on there. There's some that were like ones that we're skipping on, and just I think some were radio shows and
right.
Different things. But we also are pulling off after the 15th to go back home and prepare for our album release show on April 4/20 in Dallas. We wanted to do our album release show and actually have this be on the actual day that it was being released worldwide. So we've coordinated that, and that's going down.
Right on, no, absolutely. You guys are releasing your self-titled album Messer on 4/20. Any particular reason for that date, or just popped up that way?
Well, it kind of just popped up that way, but also, Record Store Day is 4/21, and we're releasing a vinyl simultaneously. So not only we have this come out on CD, but it's coming out on 140-gram vinyl as well as 180-gram audiophile special edition vinyl, all of which are pre-orderable on our Pledge Music campaign right now on pledgemusic.com, and you search in Messer, and we got all kinds of great packages to pre-order there.
Right.
But, what better way to get a brand new album with some amazing artwork and sit down and listen to it and enjoy the artwork, and you'll spend hours staring at it because it's really cool. Then with a little bit of, the devil's lettuce. I mean, that's, why not? So, yeah.
Absolutely.
4/20.
Absolutely. And you guys are playing that show at Trees there in Dallas, which is a awesome venue. I've had the pleasure of being there several times. Actually, a very good friend of mine and great photographer just moved down there last April. So I've gone down to a lot of shows at Trees that he shot and hung out there. Man, that's a great venue. It's going to be an awesome time for your album release party.
Yep, you're right. Trees, 4/20. I mean, what better release party could you ask for? Clint and Whitney, who own Trees, as well as Bond Factory and Canton Hall, have just done an amazing job at all of their venues, and they've been longtime supporters and friends of ours, and we're happy to be bringing this CD release to their venue.
Oh yeah, and if you get a little too much of that lettuce, just run down the street to some serious pizza, man, and get hooked up. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you're right about it. You have been down there.
Oh yeah, man, I know what's up down there.
Good spots now too.
I know what's up down there. Oh yeah.
Pizza.
Oh yeah. No, I've seen we've seen Power Man down there. I'm trying to think. Shit. Now I go brain dead. Yeah, of course. Non-point, Power Man. Seen a lot of good shows of trees down there, man. So it's going to be a good time. And
heck yeah.
So you guys put in a lot of work getting this album made. You've got your lead single off of there, "Make This Life." Got the video coming out for that. The video's kind of you guys are kind of like, I don't want to say it's like a rebellious type thing, but it's kind of like fed up with all the shit that's happening, and you guys are kind of taking a stand. How did that come about with that video?
Well, actually, I had to visualize that video long ago, before we knew it was even going to be the single. And, it kind of came to me kind of in a dream. And then when we decided we were to pick it for the single and we needed to make the video for it, I wrote out a treat. I've never really written a treatment, but I just wrote out a treatment to it. We all kind of circulated that thing back and around and kind of fine-tuned it here and there with the help of our management team. And then the director, Matthew J.C. at Red Lux, literally took that thing and brought it from, and their motto is really, it sounds like a sales pitch, but it says vision to reality. But he literally took my vision and turned it into exactly what we had envisioned it to be. And, which is exactly a protest against the media. I mean, the idea is that Derek is the anchor man, and we made our sound guy, Nick, our front of house engineer, he's the bad guy, producer, TV producer. But the idea was that, Derek is a good-hearted person on the inside, but his job is he's doing the news. But he's tired of telling these lies. He's, from that perspective. And the producers say, "No, you got to read this script," and he's like saying, "Fuck your script." Right. I'm out of there. And and Donnie's like, he's the weather guy, and he's always tired of reporting, fire and tornadoes and just crap, and he's like, "I'm out of here." And I'm playing the street reporter guy on the scene where Kenny's playing the protest leader, and they're just, I'm down there protesting or documenting their protest, but then here comes Donnie and Derek saying, "You know what? We're out of. You're out of here. You're coming with us. We're, let's go." And then we have the face-off, Reservoir Dog meets Office Space on steroids, where we just kind of went ape shit on those TVs, which are very hard to find TVs these days that are those big giant ones that we had a hard time finding those TVs. There are not very many of them to find, and we, of course, destroyed those. So right. There's at least 6 fewer.
Yeah, those old school tube TVs, man, they're not, unless you're hitting up some like thrift stores or some shit like that, you're gonna have a hard time finding those bad boys. Plus, who wants to carry those heavy fucking things?
Oh my God, they were so big, and I did not know that they were going to explode as loudly, and we didn't get a chance to rehearse that scene. We had one shot,
right?
But they were loud, and it scared me. I'm not going to lie, I felt a little bit, but I was not expecting it to be as loud when they exploded as they did. And we didn't have safety glass. There was no safety precautions.
Right.
Right. It was just go for it and try to get the scene, that we were going for. So, which I think we did. We nailed it. My favorite one is the GoPro. That we just set a GoPro on top of the TV, and whatever was going to happen with that GoPro was going to happen. That's my favorite shot, I think.
Oh yeah, man. Well, and I'm sure you guys probably had a lot of fun making that. I'm sure it was a pretty good time, just because it wasn't an uptight type deal. It was. I'm sure you guys got to release some energy and actually probably get some anger and aggression out while you were doing it.
Yes, it was. We actually kind of had another serendipitous moment that happened while we were filming that, and that intro scene where we have the actor playing the homeless guy on the streets there.
Right.
We dressed him up kind of like the image of the single for Make This Life, with the the boy standing in the post-apocalyptic, kind of scene, and he's got like the gas mask on, and he's holding that green, like a wine bottle in his hand.
Right.
And we had dressed this actor up to look like that guy, kind of, sort of, but we didn't think about the wine bottle. We just, as a prop, that we totally just entirely forgot. And it was raining that day, and we shot that. You're familiar with Deep Ellum, so that alley scene is the alley behind trees.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Like they're between trees.
In that parking garage?
Okay?
Yeah, that parking lot.
Yeah, right there, where that fenced-in parking lot. So that's where we were shooting at. So we had a rain delay, and I'm standing on the back patio, or the back, not the patio, but the back door to trees, trying to take shelter from the rain. And I see across in an empty parking lot, about 100 yards away, a green wine bottle laying down on the ground. So I'm thinking, hey, I want to get that wine bottle. We'll use it for prop. So I run over in the rain, and I get it, and I pick it up, and it's corked. It still has a cork in it, and it has a little hand-drawn picture on the outside of it, and it says on this bottle, it says, message in a bottle. And I'm like, oh, what? And I look a little closer, and there's an actual message in this bottle.
No
I'm like,
shit.
well, that's weird. That's just freaky, right?
Yeah.
This is weird shit. So I don't immediately open it up yet. I wait and I bring it back over to the guys. I'm like, check this bottle out. We got to put it in the scene. And if you look in that scene, the homeless guy's holding it, and you can see, you were pausing, you'd see there's a message in that bottle, but you'd have to pause it and zoom in to see it. But then after we shot the scene, we opened the bottle up. Now, I have to preface before I read this message. At first, I'm thinking it's going to be like a religious nut kind of. Some people might go, that is a religious nut letter when after I read it, but it's really not. But telling you to repent your sins or something like that's kind of what I half expected out of it.
Right.
But that week we've been talking a bunch about the Shazam app because we were really humbled by how many times our song had been Shazammed. Only after being on the radio for a week or two, we've had a considerable amount of Shazam, app requests or whatever they call it.
Right.
And we kept saying, all week long, man, did you check Shazam? And we had been saying that word a whole bunch. So when I read this letter to you now, it was kind of ironic and one of those things that was like, lets us know, I feel like we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing in the universe right now with this music and with this band. So I'm going to read this to you, okay? This is no bullshit. You can go to our Instagram. I actually posted a picture of it, and you can see exactly what I'm about to read to you. It's handwritten, hand-drawn piece of paper rolled up inside this bottle. It says, yes, now, Shazam. The universal mind flow has led you to this exact moment in time and space. Yes, it is happening now. The cosmic kismic trigger effect is co-creating the awakening of your inner Shazam samurai, which is catapulting your nitro-burning, fuel-injected, hoot-nanny, howlin' wolf love dance into making your wildest dreams manifest into your reality at a fantastically accelerated rate. Yes, now, Shazam. So when we read that, we were just like, what the, mind-blowing.
Yeah. No, dude,
I've been trying to research this on the internet and find more information about this, and I haven't been able to really find any information about who's leaving these things around, but definitely a very, again, one of those like serendipitous kind of events that took place.
Yeah, no shit.
That video.
I'm sure you guys are probably a little mind blown, like you got to be fucking kidding me, right?
Well, I was, but you know what? This whole idea, I mean, we all kind of fell in love with the idea and philosophies of The Secret many years ago when we first started this, and we just started kind of employing a lot of those philosophies and practices into this band, into getting like gear that we need, a lot of vision boarding and, really trying to manifest, exactly what we're creating now, which is this band and this album and all this stuff that's coming out. And the more that we tour around and the more we meet other bands, the more we see all these other bands are kind of doing the same thing. We're all kind of basically operating off of The Secret. And that's kind of been our MO. So it was very surreal to find that, no less.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy. And I mean, would you kind of expect anything different? I mean, I was reading here, like how you guys all came together. I mean, you guys are like a hodgepodge mix of just shit manifesting out of midair, like, people walking. The story is it is stranger than fiction, and it's no bullshit. It really is like no bullshit. I mean, the fact that
Derek and I happened to run into each other. He actually originally saw me first doing a hair show where I was doing, I would do demonstrations on hair. It's called Art Team or whatever.
Right.
I did this for Tony and Guy, and he was at a hair show because he was dating a girl who was a hairdresser, and they just happened to see. So he knew me as this guy on stage, a hairdresser, and then when he actually came in and got his hair done, and we started talking about music. That's where, I was like, I was telling him I had just given up music to focus on, I'm just going to focus on my hair career and just, really explore that. And he convinced me to come hang out at Kenny's compound, where Kenny still resides today, where he broke down.
Right, where Kenny's trying to get home, breaks his car, breaks down in Dallas, and is like, fuck it, I'll stay. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a whole other story, too, because Kenny, is Canadian and, has got just a crazy, he's been touring and just being a musician his whole life. That's a whole other crazy story that, but the fact that we all ended up, in this band and the circumstances that, along the way, like meeting Chad, like, the chance encounter with Chad, he caught a performance of ours, out in LA. I think we were playing the Cat Club, or the Key Club, Cat Club. And, our tour manager, who's still our tour manager now, Chris Carter, invited, he knew Chad, said, Chad, you gotta come out and, check this band out. And, after seeing our show, it wasn't like overwhelming. It wasn't like, oh, your songs are so great. But he's like, your performances were so great that he was so sucked in by our performance that he was like, you're going back to my place and, cancel whatever you're doing. You're coming over and we're gonna write some songs and produce something up, and that's where Simple Man came from. As we went over there, and literally in a matter of a week or so, we had written and put together that first song, which originally, it was a different. The music business has changed so much, so at that particular point in time, the idea was we'll have this song, and then some major record label is going to sign us and write us, give us this big check, or we're going to go crowd. This is before crowdfunding, really. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think, what was the first one? Not GoFundMe, Indiegogo.
Indiegogo,
one of the very first ones. Yeah, one of the very first crowdfunding campaigns that had come out. We actually made, this whole, video, produced it up and shot all this footage. And then we were asking for this money to go in the studio and record this album the way that we wanted to. And we sat there and we watched this video and we go, wait a minute, if we don't believe in us enough to go all in, because this, then how can we honestly ask somebody, stranger to, invest some of their money into our dream? So we never released that Kickstarter. That's what it was, our Kickstarter. We never released that Kickstarter video. We just hit delete, and we dug in, and we decided we're going to do this album the way that we want to do it, however long it takes, and whatever it takes to make it happen, and that's essentially what we've done. And what you're seeing now is the result of 6 long years of hard work, dedication, perseverance, and just all-around stick-to-itiveness.
Well, hey, man, like it said, Shazam, you're right where you're supposed to be at this point in time, right?
Exactly.
right what the letter said, man. Well, dude, man, it sounds like you guys got a great tour coming up here, man. Gonna have a great time at this album release show. Get excited, man. You're gonna have a great album coming out on the 20th of April. Anything you want to say to the fans? Tell them how to get it. Like I said, you've got some great bundles for pre-order. Tell them how they can get that, man. Anything you want to say to the fans before we let you enjoy the rest of your night?
Yeah, I mean, come catch the live show. Thank you for those who've been supporting us. And, you can find us anywhere on social media at Messer Band, and our Pledge Music. By all means, find our Pledge Music. We have some great packages on there, some exclusive items. And we said we wanted to make the actual physical product as just as much an experience as coming to a live show. So you'll be equally surprised.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, Maddox, I've greatly appreciated the time tonight, and can't wait to hear that full album, man. I hope you guys have a blast and kill this tour.
Yeah, man. We'd love for you to review it, man. Thank you so much.
Right on, man. Well, have a good night, bud. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
All right, sir. Bye-bye.